Welcome. Oh my god, my setup is hella whack. We used to Dude, I didn't change. I didn't freaking change. At this point, I'm gonna dox myself. I'll wear my fucking work clothes. Hold on, let's I am already exposing the title. And Nikki, what? Hold on. Hold up. Just looking stunning. Hi y'all, how we doing? Happy Monday. Oh my, hold on. Everyone come closer. Let's get a big hugging. Happy Friday. How's everyone's weekend? Hi best friend, welcome. Who came in? Hi Staff, hi Jay, hi Chucho. Migo, I know you were in here for a second. And Celine. How's the weekend, y'all? Hello, camper. You all, I survived. I am officially a camping queen. I survived. Oh, hold on. I'm watching Nikki right now. She's panicking. Tick free too. I am tick free. Hold on. Let's see if it locked me out of my Miso Soup Instagram. Oh no, that's too much work. We'll get that later. Granola gal. You know what? My mom packed granola for my friends and I, and no one ate them. Because you know why? It was the freaking Nature Valley bars. The one like when you break it, it just crumbles in your hands and then disintegrates. How's everyone's weekend? I know I went camping. What did you all do? I think I can show some pictures, but this is my personal one. I don't know what happened to my miso soup one. Oh, here we go. No, I love Nature Valley too, but no one else likes Nature Valley. Sent peeps to the Shadow Realm and then got sick. Aww. Were you outside? Like it was really crappy outside. Like it was rainy and cold and sad. Shoo, welcome home. Thank you. Yes, Jay does play Yu-Gi-Oh! And Genshin. A skill issue. But yeah, how'd you get sick, Jay? I hope you feel better. I'm gonna put this mic closer. You're so tired. Oh, it's this week, right? Good luck. Hold on, let me see if I can show. I think most of the people in here follow me on Insta, but exclamation point menu if you want to see the soup options. I've been meaning, I have so many other soups that I had in mind, but I just need to get around to doing it. All right, let's see if I can show. Let's do this. Yeah, so this is the camping. I need a new order. I know, bro. I'll get on it. W Insta for real. So this was me. I did the camping things. These are my friends. Honestly, you had pho for 4 weeks, and what's wrong with that? I would eat pho for 4 weeks. Show them the fire video. So this is where we stayed at. We had, the nice tents. My friends provided the tent because I don't own anything, and the sleeping bags, so shout out them. It was pretty cozy. This is my first time sleeping in a tent, and there was a little, it's not an air mattress, I forgot what they called it, but I had a thing at the bottom, so it was the tarp, and then I had a thing, and I had 2 mattresses. So I was hella cozy. This is probably the best sleep I've gotten, TBH. So, and then since I was the only one that didn't know how to to man a fire, I tried my best. So, did your light attract hella bugs? There wasn't, honestly, it was so cold, there weren't as many bugs. So it was peachy. It was peachy. So yeah, that was my failed attempt at putting the fire in. But then the next morning, so this was yesterday morning, this was my baby Lincoln log, and then it went away because the rain collapsed on it. So big sad. So and then that's me. So it was fun. So my expectations for this have definitely changed my mind about camping. You tried summoning me? Always. I would love to go camping with some people here. Although if we did ever had like a get together of all of us camping, I will not carry. I can make a fire now, but I don't think I can do anything else. So that was my weekend. It was pretty fun. So I don't think I can go camping again if it was like in the summer with all the mosquitoes and all the bugs. But I think since it was really cold, I didn't have to do anything too much. Miso did great. Thanks, Celine. I love you, Jess, but no camping. Okay, we'll tell that to Cole because I think Cole wants to go camping. So hold on, let's see. Hey Cole, do you want to go camping? Let's see.
Virtual Dominion.
I don't remember, but you should have enough. How much do you have?
Well,
hey Cole, do you want to go camping? Yes, Jess. I'd fucking love to go camping.
Convince Cho-Cho.
Please,
she doesn't want
a camping
to.
Trip for us.
Doesn't want to. Migo, you're invited. Of course he does.
Oh, never
he
mind.
celebrated
So
we celebrated my sister's birthday at a murder mystery dinner
That's a
Saturday,
lost
and it was
cause.
the most terrifying experience of my life. I'm dead. Muck is fire. We should play.
I'm breaking this tree, then I'm coming for you.
Where are we going? IDK it.
It's 6,
Okay, we're gonna
5, 4, 3.
So everyone, we're all invited. I don't know where. All right. How's Nikki? Oh shit. How's Nikki doing? Is she alive?
Oh, you're typing proof. Good.
Is she calm? Migo, is she calm now? You'll grab my grab your chacos? I'm down.
I'll tuck you in.
There were 80 people there, and everyone said watch everyone else but us and an actor, and just went downhill. Oh no, she's getting there. Oh, poor thing. All right.
We're fine. Okay, we're fine, right? Oh wait, dude, I don't even have my Discord open. I don't even know if she's gonna.
All right, we're gonna let her. We're gonna let her adjust. But yeah, hopefully I had a good weekend. I mean, it was pretty chill. So, Kazmin, hello, how's it going? Oh, I totally forgot. Did someone give a shout out for Migo and Staffa? Let me message. How you doing? Do you still need a minute? Oh my gosh, it's Cammy, my love. How are you doing, Cammy? You misclicked for one? No, you're good. I appreciate you all. Cammy, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while, Cammy. But also I haven't been like on as much. You do be studying for your math class? That's fine. It all chill. Good luck on finals. I know it's finals week for the school I'm at right now. It's finals for a lot of folks, so. Just obsessed with the new game, Honkai Star. Oh yeah, isn't that like pretty much Genshin, right? It looks nice. You're dying. Help. It's Space Genshin? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna dox anyone, but Cho-Cho, you and Netdino go to the same school. Oh, Nikki needs a lifetime. It's okay. It don't matter. It don't matter. The two of you that are like, what? Who? You two. Yeah, it's by the same developers, but turn-based instead of open world action. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. Well, okay. So I played Genshin, or not Genshin. I played Wizard 101, and that was turn-based, and I liked it to an extent. So, alright. I'm not touching it. I don't want to have the temptation to... oh, yeah. Jay, you might get addicted if you start. Alrighty. Is it time? You took a bio final? You got it, girl. See? After one final, the rest of it is just gonna... it's just gonna hurry, you know? I'm avoiding that class at all costs. I don't think you need it for your major, Cosmin. I think you're good, bro. Yes, only W's. Manifesting passing grades. That's what I'm telling my students. So. Spy. Can I get a shout out for Spy Can't? It's my son. May 8th, y'all. May 8th. Alright, we ready? How do you do it? Yeah, May 8th. This is the first time I got to see your PC. Oh yeah, you can like kind of see it. But yeah, that's my PC. It chilling here. We got RM from BTS on the inside. If it's distracting, I'll somehow, I don't know where my placement is for my camera. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't shake as much. You're busy on May 8th? Son, you better not. And I don't want to disown you, so you have no choice. I got y'all in both honors. Aw. Thanks, Mika, you're a real one. Alright, let's do this, y'all. Let's not keep our guest waiting. We know what time it is. Welcome, everyone. It is Miso Motivational Monday. We got a special guest today. They're very nervous. You already see their name in the title, but we got Miss Lovely Nikki Poo-Pookin. She's also streaming, so kindly give her a follow if someone can kindly shout her out. She's streaming right now. She's hella nervous, so please give them all the love because this is their first time, and it's really not easy, you know, sharing experiences or just doing this type of thing. So I commend her for wanting to do this with me. It was super last minute. I didn't have a guest, and I realized that most of the people in here have been males in terms of guests, so it's nice to have a lady be on here. So let's give them a call. And thanks for the lurk staff. Let's see. Nikki. Oh, hello. Oh, shoot. Hello.
I'm nervous.
No, why you nervous, girl? Hold on.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I need to change my mic to this other mic. I'm using a podcasting mic for this.
Oh, shoot, you fancy.
Yeah. I think it will make me feel more comfortable. But let me know if the mic doesn't sound good. I'll change back to the other one.
Okay. Hi, Annie. Welcome. Can I get a shout out for Annie? She legit when she's calling me. Nikki.
Who's exposing me right now?
It's fine. It's my son. My son is exposing you. You both are gonna do great. Yes. We got it.
I changed it to the other mic. I'm sorry if it sounds bad.
Oh, thank you, Jay. Yes. I will wait until Nikki is ready.
Wait, you can't hear me right now?
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh,
I hear you.
Oh, okay. Wait. Give me 1 second.
No, you're good. I'm gonna adjust you. Yeah, look how freaking cute her thing is.
The couch.
Oh wait, I want to see how yours looks like.
I have you on the couch and like.
Oh shoot, hold on, Nikki.
It's like. I actually set it up earlier today. It's very cute.
Oh, okay. If everyone goes onto Nikki's, you'll see me as Marpeco. I'm so derpy. I am dead. I look so
just,
freaking cute. Yes.
The form, it's anonymous, right?
Yeah. If they want to
Yeah.
share, they can totally put their name on it. Otherwise, it's anonymous.
Okay.
Yeah. So for those of you watching in either stream, if you are in my stream, if you do !form, it's also pinned by Scissors. You can click on that. You're more than welcome to ask either me, Nikki, or any of us a question about the topic. It doesn't really have to necessarily be about the topic. There'll be some time at the end if you want to ask like random things, but for the most part, we are going to talk about healthy boundaries and self-care. That'll be the topic for today, but we'll wait a bit. Let me look. Follow Nikki or the Shadow Realm. Yes, facts. I'll have both your streams up.
Nah,
when
don't
I'm on
follow
PC.
me.
No. Everyone follow Nikki.
You never don't follow me.
Follow Nikki or ban.
The band sounds better at this point.
No. The echo from both streams is wild. What the heck?
There's an echo? Oh, because they have both streams open?
Oh, that's funny.
Or...
Oh, Freddie, welcome. Hope you have a good stream tonight. Thank you. Can I get a shout out for Freddie? I hope you're doing well. Oh, you have both open? And he does too? Dang, if you have both streams open, you're a real one. Thank you, Chocho. And thanks, Scissors, for shouting out. Alright, gotta get my... Alright. Let me know when you're ready, Nikki. You have 5 streams open right now? Imagine. Oh, you're at work. When do you get off?
I'm ready whenever.
You ready whenever? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll do it.
Sure? Okay.
Bro, I'm so awesome.
No, don't worry, bro. It's okay. It's all natural. We're just talking to our friends, and you just talking to me. Just stare at Marpeco. Alright.
I have your stream open on my other screen.
Oh, do you? Your thing is so cute. See, everyone's validating you. Everyone says you got this. Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, well, welcome everyone here in my stream and everyone in Nikki's stream. And if you're in both, dang, you cool. But welcome to Miso Motivational. If you are new or if you're in Nikki's stream and you're like, what the heck is this? Well, welcome. I am Miso Soup. You can also call me Jess. And then I think most of the people in my community know who Nikki is, but if Nikki, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi. Hi. I'm I don't know what to say. I usually stream art. I have a segment on my streams called Honest Talks where I talk about topics of mental health and yeah. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what she does. And she's also helping me make my emotes, so
I am.
give her a follow. They're gonna be pretty cute. Not gonna lie. So Yeah, so pretty much every week on Mondays, I've just been doing some motivational mental health talks. For those of you who follow Nikki, you know that she does her little like mental health talks as well in the beginning of her streams. And I thought it was super last minute, so thank you, Nikki, for hopping in on here. But I thought it would be nice to just have a female be a guest on here, because I know too many guys and I need some women in here. But also I think both of our streams, in terms of like coziness and like talking about mental health, I think we just kind of have similar values and align. So I think it'd just be nice for the two of us to chat and just kind of share about, you know, our experiences and just kind of talk about what we're doing today, which is healthy boundaries and self-care. So
Yes.
so again, for those of you who are not familiar, we do have a form. We pretty fancy around here. So if you have questions, you're more than welcome to ask them in either my chat or Nikki's chat. Otherwise, if you're a little nervy about asking questions, do !form. I think, Nikki, for you, is it forum?
Yeah, I put forum.
Forum? Okay, yeah. It looks like it's both pinned on either of our chats. So if you would like to answer or ask a question, sorry, not answer, feel free throughout the whole stream that you can just kind of put that in there and we'll take a look at that at some point. Okay, so let me pull my stuff. I look so freaking cute as Morpeko.
Give me like 10 seconds, I'm gonna close my door.
No, you're good. Take your time. Everyone hype up Nikki. Hold on. We gotta hype her up. Hype. Yes. Everyone's hyping Nikki.
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready? Okay.
Yeah.
What the heck are more questions? Okay. Well, you said a little bit about yourself. I had like a second question on here. For at least some of the people on my community, Nikki. How long have you been streaming for? And kind of what made you start streaming here on Twitch?
That's a good. I actually really like when people ask that question. I started like in August of last year, I think, but I took like a 3-month break after that, and I didn't come back until January. So I feel like I didn't really take like streaming that seriously until January. But so how long is that? January till now?
It's like
almost 5 months basically. Yeah.
What made you change your mind?
Change my mind about coming back, or
yeah.
So it's kind of dark, but
that's okay.
In
well,
September,
whatever you're comfortable.
Oh, I don't mind like sharing it, but in September, like my mental health is always really bad because that's around the time that a close friend of mine passed away. So like that month is just always hard for me. And then I try to come back in November, and then my grandpa passed away.
Aww.
So then that happened, and then in December, I think like we had to like we finished all the funeral stuff like after the first week of December, but then my dog had to have surgery, and then after that I had like New Year's plans, so it was just a really hectic time.
Yeah.
So I just didn't have a chance to come back until then.
Oh. Well, I'm sure me and everyone here who are watching you are super thankful that you came back, because we all love your cozy streams and your arts and everything. And you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, so our topic for today is setting healthy boundaries. I think this topic is so awesome because I think for those of you who've been watching previous Miso Motivationals, we've been kind of talking more like specific things that cause like different forms of mental health stress. So week 1, we've talked about generational trauma. 2, we talked about friendships, loneliness. We've talked a little bit of Cleo Park's experience on depression, and then last week we had Celine talk more of like LGBTQ, like the kind of general stuff happening in terms of mental health affecting that population. So it's kind of nice having kind of like a little bit more of like a positive side of things of like, okay, let's not focus on like what causes stress, or sorry, like mental health stress, but in a sense this one does, but it's also kind of more actionable and kind of leading to a more positive thought. So for those of you who are like, whoa, what boundaries, like we kind of know what they are, but I think there's different forms of boundaries that we're maybe not too familiar with. So Nikki, for you, oh, I forgot, I skipped a question. It's okay, whatever. Actually, no, we can go back to it.
It's fine. Do whatever flows, like whatever you want to do. I'm down.
Okay. Well, I already introduced it, so it's okay. So Nikki, I think for you, like, what are boundaries specifically? And maybe just to touch on the first question that I had, because I totally skipped it. Like, you know, how does boundaries kind of play a role in like your mental health?
So to me, like, boundaries are just like a way that you protect yourself, and you have these it's like a shield, you know, like an invisible shield that you set for yourself, and it protects you from like the influence of others, and I guess it protects like your morals and your values from the influence of others, is what I think how I would say. I kind of forgot the second question. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, no, I like that visual of like this kind of protective barrier, right? So my second question was like, how is setting boundaries kind of like playing a role with like mental health?
Oh, I see. Okay, so I think like a lot of the time, well, at least in my situation, like I like to help people a lot, but I think there's an extent to like how much you can help someone, or like without giving up part of yourself, if that makes sense. And so for that aspect, like someone who would want to help other people, I think boundaries are really important to keep your sense of self. But then for people who are going through things and they don't have boundaries, they're really important, because that way I got rated. I'm sorry.
Oh, you got rated? Let's go. Who's this? Welcome, Raiders.
Wait, head stick. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Do your thing, girl. Nikki's so cute. Look what you did, Anderson. That's so funny. Again, for those of you just hopping in, oh yes, thank you, Jay. Make sure you get your soup. Eat up. We have a special new command specifically for Nikki. Exclamation point dog water. In the meantime, if you would like to join our cozy Discord, exclamation point Discord, and you can join in as well. We already have one person ask a very great question in the forum.
I'm back.
I'm
so sorry. For someone who is struggling like mentally, honestly, I hate saying struggling mentally, because it makes someone sound less than another person. But like someone who isn't necessarily as confident in their sense of self, having boundaries are really important, because it protects, like I said, like it protects them from the influence of others, and it stops you from building like unhealthy relationships and mindsets.
Sorry, 1 second. No, I agree 100%. And I think you talked a little bit of kind of almost in a sense like emotional / personal boundaries. But I know we were talking about this like nice little picture of like different types of boundaries, which I'm gonna show right here and block my face so teacher Nikki can explain. Okay, I'll move it over to this side. This is like a nice little visual of, and I don't know if you have it on your stream.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is a nice little visual of the different types of boundaries. So we have physical boundaries, emotional, verbal, time, work, spiritual, financial, and sexual. All of you can read like the individuals, but it's kind of nice because when you think about what you are protecting, kind of that little like protective layer that Nikki was talking about, you're like, oh yeah, like I do certain things that protect each of these little aspects of my life, right? So I'll have Nikki talk a little bit more about some of them, but for one of them, for those of you in Nikki's streams, one thing that I love that she does is ! Hug WC, which means with consent, and that is an example of a physical boundary, right? Because I am someone who loves hugs. I can hug people all I want, but there are some people who like genuinely don't like hugs. And one, it could be a personal preference, but it's also like respectful for those who have gone through like any sort of physical, sexual abuse or just anything physical of that nature where they want to protect themselves physically because physical touch reminds them of some sort of trauma, right? So they are protecting their personal boundaries. So it's really nice that Nikki on her stream has hugs with consent because it's being mindful and respectful of like the boundaries for people who need physical boundaries in terms of hugs and how they show affection, right? So Nikki, I don't know if you don't have to go through all of them, but I don't know if you wanted to pinpoint or just talk about some of the other types of boundaries on here.
So kind of like going into like what we were just talking about, like the reason why boundaries are so important is because like when they're violated, I feel like you lose a sense of self, you know? And knowing like the certain types of boundaries, I think it also helps you become more self-aware, because we all like, we know what a boundary is, you know, but I think like being able to pinpoint them allows you to, one, like have a better conversation about it with other people, and then two, better understand yourself and what boundaries you value more than others, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I have some examples. So a material boundary is like this idea of someone mistreating something of yours in some way. So for example, like say someone's like, hey, can I borrow your car? And then they like, if they mistreated it, or okay, wait, these aren't examples of the boundary, these are examples of violating the boundary, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so if someone was to say like, can I borrow your car? But then say they return it and it has like no gas, or like they used like they just like mistreated it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, that's fucked up, you know? Because it's like you trusted that person to take care of the material that you shared with them, but they kind of like overstepped by mistreating it. So sorry, go ahead.
Oh no. I was going to say, so yeah, if that's like a violation, like how would someone create a boundary to prevent that? I know we're going to talk about how to set boundaries, but what would be an example of that?
I think like if it is something that's like really important, then you should like have a conversation with them and tell them like, hey, I'm letting you borrow this, but like please, like, you know, if you like just having conversations and being communicative about it, like letting them know like, hey, just please take care of it, you know, and don't mistreat it. So you could actually literally say like, hey, don't like, if the gas is low, can you please refill it or something, you know?
Everyone is saying so much information, so much knowledge. Yes, Nikki's very knowledgeable.
I should probably talk about like, I am not a professional.
Oh yes.
I forgot to say that. I'm not a professional or anything. I have a degree in kinesiology. I took a lot of psychology classes, philosophy classes, and also a counseling class, but that doesn't make me like a professional.
Professional. Same with me as well. As much as I'm leading and facilitating the conversation, I have a bio degree and I teach students at a school, so that makes me counselor-like, but not. I don't have a mental health license at all. So, Spygate says you sound like a professional to me. Bio degree equals doctor noted. What the? It's okay.
Yeah, the only thing I'm professional at is
Debating. I'm professional at something, but not that. Alright, but I know you had like some other examples. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, I was just going like down the list.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so the next one is like a time and energy boundary, and so a violation of that would be like if someone wasted your time or your energy. Some general examples is like, you know, you set up plans, the person shows up late. I feel like I'm talking about myself, but I talk about streaming.
I do that too. I was literally late for like 10 minutes. It's okay.
Yeah. Or it's like they don't show up at all, you know, like if you were going on a date, you made plans and then you get stood up. And
which I'm sure people can relate.
Facts.
The flakers.
A big example that I have is like, even this, like, it doesn't even have to necessarily be to the point where you make the plans, but I've had like a friend that like will make plans. We have a group chat and they don't even reply to like the text to say, hey, I can't make it. They just don't reply at all. And then it's like they'll reply here and then they'll stop replying, and then you can literally see them like chatting on other stuff, but they don't reply to your plans or like your messages. That is a big time/energy violation.
Yeah.
It also like plays into other ones as well.
Yeah, this isn't my personal experience, but I've had people that I know invest a lot of time in friends who had like relationship issues, but then once like the relationship of their friend got resolved, their like friend stopped talking to them because now they're like talking to their partner.
That's a great example.
Yeah, so they feel like they like wasted like so much like emotional energy and time like with that friend because they needed like emotional support, but then they're like, oh, everything's good, we don't have to talk anymore, and they're like, what the heck?
Yeah, you just feel like used or whatever.
Yeah, it's annoying. Eddie, wow.
Another boundary is like emotional, kind of what we were talking about, but it's like making someone feel uncomfortable emotionally. So like some examples could be like dismissing, rejecting, or assuming things about someone because you're just you're like, by making assumptions about someone, you're kind of not allowing them to speak for themselves, you know? So that's a big emotional boundary violation. Another one I think that a lot of us can probably relate to is like emotional or trauma dumping. That's a big violation. I mean, obviously, like, I think there's a way to go about everything, you know?
Right.
But if someone just says it without prefacing like what is going on, then that's definitely like a violation. Oh, and then lastly, like inappropriate comments or questions or anything like that.
Oops, sorry. 1 second. Oh.
I see it.
Thank you, Jojo. Yes. Jojo made a good point. Friends are not therapists.
Yes. That's actually, oh sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
That's actually like a occupational like for someone who is a therapist or someone who is in that like position, because in my counseling class my professor was a therapist and they talked like about how during Thanksgiving they would, you're seeing family and everything, but then like they know that person that they're a therapist, so they'll go up to them
Oh
and
my
just
gosh.
dump on them. And it's like, I'm not your therapist. Like, like when people, I think it, like, if you ask like, hey, I have something going on, can I talk to you about it, that's okay.
Right.
But by going, hey, I'm going through blah 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 blah, help me, that's definitely a different way, like not the right way to go about it.
Right. Yeah. Smite said relationships aren't therapists too. Some of the reasons why relationships go bad. Yeah. It's I'm sure it's like very hard for some folks, because obviously for those who are really empathetic, we want to show some level of care and love for the people that we care about. But you can only take so much like trauma from your friends, family, or whoever else is in your life, right? Because obviously you go through your own things too. You deal with your own set of problems, but then to carry the load of other people in your life on top of your own, it's like, oh man, like I can only juggle so much, and people are expecting me, but I want to show love, but I need to like take care of myself at the same time too, right?
Yeah.
So
and it also puts like that individual in such a, like a uncomfortable position, because it's just like you said, it's like you want to help and it's hard to say no, because I think sometimes it comes off in the wrong way, because like they're like, oh, then you don't want to help me, but that's not true. Like, it's that there's a time and place for everything, and there's a way to go about everything.
We actually had one sorry to cut you off. We actually had one person ask a question in the forum, which anyone at any point, I'll always remind, feel free, !forum on my chat or !forum in Nikki's chat if you have a question. Someone asked a question that kind of relates to this topic. It says, where would you draw the line between self-care and being selfish?
I think like when you think of like selfishness, it's always like such a bad connotation, but in a sense I guess you could say self-care is somewhat selfish, but you need to preserve, like, I don't know, because to me personally, like, I really value my sense of self. So
get
the
a shout out for
moment
Adri,
something
please?
is infringing upon that, I always let the person know, like, hey, like, I don't go, hey, you're violating me.
But you could.
Yeah, you can, but I let them know, like, hey, like, what you're doing is not okay, because, and then I'll give a reason why. But there's something like I saw, I think we were talking about it also in the DMs, like, about how when you want to help people, like, you can help people without like infringing on your boundaries, because there's gonna be a point where you just keep giving yourself, and then you're not gonna have anything left. So I think in a sense, like, I don't know how to answer it. I'm like, I didn't answer the question.
No, no. I think how you phrased that was good. I mean, I think that what you said in the beginning, like, I think we need to reframe how we think about like self-care and selfishness, because like what you said, it's like self-care is selfish in a way, but it's positive, like yes. So actually, Nikki, for your frame of reference, and everyone here, welcome Adri. During one of my first few motivational streams, I rated Tea with Adri. Everyone, please give them a follow. They are wonderful. They do mental health streams. They are so awesome. Adri said, just saw the quote, self-care is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation. So, yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I think reframing, like, what selfish means in terms of self-care, it's like, yeah, we are, like, preserving ourselves so that we can continue to care for others, right? Yeah. Different kind of selfish, yeah. yes, Adri, you deserve it.
Yeah, I like how they put it as self-preservation.
Yeah, because it's not like we're trying to, as in the quote says, it's like you're not trying to, like, indulge, like, you know, we like spoil ourselves with like chocolate or things that we like, but we're trying to like maintain like who we are as a person so that like we can continue to like be ourselves around the people that we love, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So great question from the person who asked. I think from my perspective, like very, very similar to like yours, Nikki. It's like I always feel guilty whenever like I have people who ask me of different things, like they want like advice, or like they, you know, whether it's like people here or my family or outside, and I always like have so much empathy where I want to like put the whole world on my shoulders and like solve everyone's problems, but I know that I don't have the capacity or mental like stability to do that all the time, right? So I think like recognizing like, okay, I need to kind of step away, even if it's for a few hours or for like a day, to just refocus on myself, you know? And in a sense, there's times where I feel a little bit selfish, right? But like I feel so much more ready to get back into that conversation once I kind of recenter myself. Adri said, I think selfish takes away from the people around you. Self-care is with the intention of bettering yourself, which will in turn between the people around you. Yes. Snaps queen. That's it, sweet to remember.
Good night, Jay. Thank you for being here.
Oh, good night, Jay.
I need to tuck. Wait, hold on. I can't type with one hand.
I know. Big hugs to JW Mod. Have a good night. Spy asked a question. What are signs for both of you that you realize it's time to focus on self-care? Ooh.
Like in a specific situation, or?
I think maybe like general signs. I can go first, or you can go first.
Yeah, you can go first.
Yeah. I think for me, when I feel like I can't think straight, yeah, he said in general, like I can't mentally focus on whatever task is at hand. And for me, I've experienced different variations of depression throughout my life, but lately it's more been anxiety, if anything. So yes, Adri, the early signs of burnout. Because that was me last week before my camping trip, because I was experiencing huge burnout with work, and I was actually experiencing like family kind of asking a lot of me. Some people within the community, not in like negative ways, were just like asking me of different things, and I felt like, oh my gosh, I want to help my family, I want to help people in my community, but I also have work and other personal things that I need to deal with, that I was getting like super burnt out with like everything in my life. So I think like when I get physical symptoms in terms of like headaches, I feel like I lack water. That's kind of like one thing. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to actually like physically hydrate. But yeah, that sense of like, it's like so overbearing, so overwhelming that I just can't focus on literally anything, is when I realize I need to take a step back and actually, you know, recenter myself and think about like what are my current needs. So in that moment I was like, okay, I need space to myself, whether it be like quiet time, whether it's just like eating a meal, or if it's sleep, you know. Cami said it's important to take breaks in between and slow down your pace. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Because you just like need to. Like, I am such a huge advocate of listening to your body. You know, there are days where I'm like, oh, I should maybe stream tonight, but then I get so tired. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to stream today. And then I just sleep, or I just end up watching people, or I end up playing video games. And then the next day I feel like so much better because I listened to what my body was telling me. So that was my long answer. Sorry, Spy.
I like that answer though. I think it is important. I don't think I think a lot for me when I go through shit, it's a lot more mental than physical. But It might be because I'm an overthinker.
No, that's
Like,
okay.
I noticed that, I think I know it's bad. Like, also, like you, like, I've had experience with depression and whatnot. So whenever I feel like, this is gonna sound cheesy, but if I feel like a darkness coming back, that's how I know, like, I need to step away. And usually I step away before it gets to that point, but sometimes, like, kind of the helper in me, I do try to stay sometimes. But I think most of the time I know it's bad when I start to, like, overthink and I start to doubt myself. Like, certain things that I never really, like, worried about before, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm, like, stressing about this, like, oh, like, because actually there was a time recently where, like, some shit happened, and then I just felt really not, it wasn't like that, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I knew they weren't true, but I couldn't help but feel like doubt, you know? And I think that's when I realized, like, okay, like, I need to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, just like kind of like those like inner demons just kind of eating at you and just kind of you're invalidating like your own self-worth and like your thoughts. Everyone here is saying that they are a chronic overthinker. Spy, Cami, other folks as well. No, I think that's super relatable, and I've gotten that way too. So I think it's very valid, and I think it's just even important that you recognize that, because I think some people just get so caught up in those thoughts and they just kind of end up like sinking in this little hole. But I think the fact that you recognize that like you encounter those moments is really, really important. So
yes,
head empty,
I
no
think it's
thoughts.
really important. It's really important to have like checks in with yourself, you know, like just, I don't know, like sometimes I'll just be chilling and then I'll think like, how am I feeling right now? And it helps a lot, like, if you have like friends that also literally, like, I have a friend who literally messages me every day and is like, how are you today? And it's like, and I can tell like when they message me, it's not how's your day, it's like, how are you? And it always makes me think like, how am I, you know? And it's really good that I have those like self check-ins, and I try to think like, you know, like, what am I stressing about, and like and things like that. And like, is anything too hard right now, I guess, is those are like things that I try to like keep in focus but not dwell on, I guess.
Yes, 100%. One thing that Sush does, who people don't know, Sush is my boyfriend, that he loves doing, and it's one thing that I appreciate a lot about him, is when he does ask questions, he doesn't like small talk. He wants to genuinely check on how people are doing. So what he has done, I don't know if he's been doing it lately, is that he goes up to people and asks them like, are you happy? Because it kind of segues into this conversation of like, oh, why am I not happy? Like, what happened today that, you know, it kind of like has people kind of self-reflecting on like, oh.
Yeah, I love that question.
Yeah. Love those videos, yes. That's how, yes. Sush is so big brain, yeah. Mustafa said, boundaries allow me to love you and myself at the same time, equitably and unapologetically, yes.
Ooh, yes.
I like that. I wish I could like pin multiple things sometimes. I think we had another question. Hold on. Oh, I think this was more of a comment. Someone also said in the forum, setting boundaries can also be for self-care. Like for my career, I set boundaries how I take care of my mental health, physical fitness, skills to help me in my community, but most will forget self-care is also to ask for help or to advise. Yes.
Yes.
I will put this here again for any folks who want to put in questions on the form. Again, it's still pinned. But thank you for those who asked some questions in the chat. And I think for those of you who are kind of just pitching in or just validating like different experiences and thoughts about, you know, boundaries, like it's one of those things where you think about, you're like, oh, like, do I set boundaries for myself, or like, am I in need of setting boundaries for particular things in my life, right? So hopefully it gives you some opportunities to think about if you are overwhelmed, especially for the overthinkers or those of you who tend to overthink a lot. Maybe think to yourself like, okay, is it time for me to set boundaries in different aspects of my life, right? I think we kind of talked about the third question that I had here, Nikki. It was like, yeah, we already talked about like why setting boundaries are important, and I think we've already talked about different moments, but if you have different like experiences or moments that you want to share, feel free. Otherwise we can look at the next one here. Up to you.
Let me see.
Or if there was anything from your notes that we missed.
We did kind of... Oh, sorry, I'm really bad at multitasking.
You're fine. Yeah, but I know you have to chat as well. Read that before, I love it. It's like setting boundaries is not shutting people out, but showing the other person, this is how you can best love me. Yes. I remember at one point in college, a lot of my friends at the time were going through some things, but there was a time where I had to kind of step away, even though I couldn't physically be there to support them because I was not in a mental space to do that, right? At one point, I felt guilty because I thought that me not showing up for my friends was going to essentially like lessen or devalue my friendship with them. I don't know if that makes sense, but
I know totally what you mean.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, am I gonna be a bad friend because I wasn't there for them when they were feeling this way? But at the same time, like I'm kind of going through things mentally that I just like can't be there, you know? But with time, and something I recognize right now is that I can't be there to solve the problems for those individuals, whether it's like my family, my friends, my partner, things like that. But if I do have the capacity to be there for them, like I will be full on ready to support them, like once I kind of support myself first, you know? So, hold on. So, I mean, we've talked about, if for those of you who are just tuning in or if you're in and out, so we've kind of already talked about just kind of like what are boundaries, the different types of boundaries, and kind of different examples, and we were just kind of sharing some experiences through different folks here, as well as through Nikki and for me. For those of you who are like, oh, this sounds great, I definitely am in need of this right now, Nikki, how can we set healthy boundaries? I know we kind of touched on like one example, but how can folks who need to set more boundaries in their life do that?
So I'm gonna explain like what a healthy boundary is first. So basically what a healthy boundary is one that has like a combination of like somewhat, well, it's described basically as like a flexible boundary. It's one where there's some boundaries that you will not like budge on, and then there's some that they're not like super hard, they're more like soft or not concrete. But the importance is that like the person setting the boundary is really self-aware, and they're aware that like they're in control of the situation and of that boundary. And that another important thing is that healthy boundaries can change like according to the situation that you're in or the individual that you're like with, I guess. Because for example, it could be like a situation where you have a rigid boundary where it's like you don't really want to budge on it, but it could be like that individual, they understand that, but they're learning to work with it. You know, that's not like obviously, yes, it is still a violation if they were to overcross it, but it shouldn't be, at least in my situation, like I don't take it as like I'm not gonna talk to you anymore, you know, like right. I told you this was wrong and you violated it. more like they, like, I understand they are trying, but it's still like, you know, you're like you're willing to negotiate with them and you're willing to change, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me see what else. Sorry, I'm like trying to follow my notes.
No, you're good. Use your notes, girl.
Yeah, and someone who also sets healthy boundaries is open to like new information and perspectives, which ultimately provides like the opportunity to grow and set new boundaries, even, or they're like, yeah, like I was saying, they're willing to discuss boundaries, appreciate others' perspectives, and more willing to change.
Adri said, my therapist once said that boundaries that aren't flexible are barriers, keep people completely out in some form or fashion. If they are flexible, it is a boundary. Interesting, yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like boundaries shouldn't ever be like super rigid or super, like, if they're too lax, then you're gonna get very, like, you're more easily manipulated. But if you're super rigid, you're never gonna change. And I think changing is like a part of life and growth, you know? Like, if you never take in other ideas, how are you gonna learn?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. And I think like everyone's experience is so different, and how we experience different relationships in our life, or however aspect of your whichever boundary you're looking at, it looks so different. Like, it's not like a one size fits all scenario, right? Yeah. So I like how you said, like, you know, you could be, you know, maybe caught in getting maybe manipulated because you know, had one boundary for this certain individual, but then if you use those same boundaries for someone else, you know, some people can kind of like, you know, push like that rigid boundary to a point where like, oh, I need to kind of adjust myself, you know. So I agree with that. I don't know if you had something else in your notes.
We'll go with, I'll talk about how to establish a healthy boundary.
Yes.
So I think like when it comes to creating a boundary, the first thing you should always ask yourself is like, what is the reason you want this? Like, why do I need this boundary? And like, what, like, where is it coming from, you know? And that reason, it doesn't necessarily matter what the reason is, but as long as it's more like conforming to your personal values and morals, and it's not being set because of someone else, then it's more likely to be a healthy boundary.
Ooh, can you see that one last sentence you just said? I don't know if it was in your notes, or if it was. Sorry, it stuck out in my head, and then I totally forgot it.
I said that the reason should only be conforming to your personal values and morals, and it should never be like you're setting it for someone else. It should always be like to protect yourself. Yes. I think that's what I said.
Yeah. No, I think that's valuable because although like we're trying to protect ourselves, you also don't want to come from a place where we're singling out or attacking one individual, right? Like, we're making exceptions because it's coming from a place where like, oh, these boundaries I can set with like X, Y, and Z, but this one person in particular, it's like, you know, kind of gating them in a sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's...
And like, I think like when it comes to like, just because someone else may have a boundary, it's like, you don't need to have it too, you know? Like, that's their own thing, and you don't have to necessarily like not copy it, but like, just because they have a problem with something doesn't mean that you need to adapt, or not adapt, but like adopt. That's what the word I was saying. Adopt that same boundary.
Yes. I think it's interesting, like how, like I said, it's so different for each individual, but I like what you said, where one, we have to think about why we're setting this boundary, right? If it's like, I keep using like personal and time because I think it's very like common. It's like, you know, what are like things that I need? It's like, I need a little bit of peace and quiet, and I need like time for myself. So how do I like set those boundaries? But then but then like thinking like where is it coming from, right, is kind of what Spy's question was initially. It's like when I'm feeling overwhelmed, and like this is like my form of self-care is to set these boundaries so that I protect myself in the future, that if I do ever get burnt out again, that like, you know, I'm going to prevent myself from having future burnouts from, you know, the same issues. So
Yeah, exactly.
all right, I think we had another question here. I'll save that question for a little bit later. I think this question will kind of go into this one that I'm hitting at, Nikki.
Okay.
So it says, how is setting healthy boundaries a form of self-care? I know we've kind of mentioned it a little bit at some points throughout the stream.
So like, I think... Sorry, I brain farted. I didn't finish talking about the setting the boundaries. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's do it. You're totally fine. Feel free.
I was like,
I honestly brain farted too, and I was like, did we finish?
But yeah, so like once you like create the boundary and you know where it's like, you understand where it's coming from, it's important that you state it to other people, because, you know, like in the most simplest of terms, like not everybody is the same and not everybody thinks the way you think, you know? Mm-hmm. So they don't know what boundaries you have unless you tell them. So it's important to clearly state those boundaries to other people, and not only that, but let them know what would happen if it's not respected, or if they're violated, because it's important to have those consequences for breaking the boundaries, because if you don't, then like I said, like with the soft boundaries, then you will have like, you're more likely to become manipulative or taken advantage of. So it's just important that you follow through with it and you make your decisions and reactions on what you said with those boundaries. And not only that, but also acknowledge that other people can have other boundaries and take into account, like I said, their personal experiences when it comes in relation to your boundaries.
Yeah, and I think being consistent with them too, because at least for me being a teacher, I don't want to say that boundaries and expectations are like one and the same, but you have to set boundaries. For example, when I was a teacher, to make sure certain behaviors are in place and that, you know, students show respect to the teacher and like one another. But if you don't set those boundaries like and expectations consistently every day, then like I said, some people can kind of push those and take advantage of you. So I agree. And Stafa says yes, knowing where boundaries begin and end are so important.
Yeah. I'll say this last part. It isn't. I don't know if it necessarily fits in with the questions, but
that's okay.
For when like resistance to boundaries happen, I think you know, sometimes people may respond with like criticism, or they're guilt tripping, or they'll like ridicule you for a certain boundary. But I think it's important that you keep in mind, like if someone refuses to accept your boundary, you should, like, I mean, obviously you want to have a good relationship with everyone you can, but you should definitely question your relationship with that person and discuss it with them, like, because they might not know why you have certain boundaries, because like a lot of the time, well, for me personally, I think a lot of my boundaries come from trauma. And you know, like trauma comes in all different sizes and shapes, and not all of us go through the same thing. So like, just because you have this certain boundary and the person, like, it's important to explain where it's coming from, because, and I mean, okay, actually I take that back.
No, you're
it's
okay.
important to say why that boundary is important. You don't have to say like where it's coming from. It's like, because a big note that I have is you never need to explain or defend your boundaries. They are between you and yourself.
Yes.
And I think it's important that like you, I don't know how to explain it, but like if someone doesn't accept your boundary, it's important to discuss your relationship with them, because that's just literally disrespecting you as a person, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you would think that in any sort of relationship that you are in, whether it's romantic, friend, familial, or whatever, even work, like related, professional, if they respect you as a person, they would care all aspects of you, even like boundaries that you have for yourself, right? It's your boundaries is like a part of you, and they shouldn't have to deny that, you know. 100%.
Okay, what was that question that you had? I'm sorry.
The one that someone asked.
No, it was, what did you? Oh, the how is setting boundaries a form of self-care?
Yes.
Yes. I think like, I don't know how like to put it into words.
That's okay.
You go first.
Yeah.
I'll think of a way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of touched upon it like throughout like the course of us talking, and I think lots of people chipped in, right? Self-care, we know, is a form of healing. It's a way for us to kind of take that mental break and kind of just recharge, kind of regain that sense of self, kind of like what Adri was talking about earlier with oh gosh, what was the phrase she used that was really great?
Self-preservation.
Yeah, self-preservation, right? I mean, there's that saying, and I remember being young and I was like, oh man, I keep hearing this phrase over and over again. It's like, you can't take care of others until you learn to take care of yourself first. Like, it was one of those phrases like I heard over and over. Was like, yes, mom, I get it, right? But it's so valid too, right? Because it's like, if you can't care for yourself, like if you don't know how to set boundaries for yourself, if you don't know how to learn how to take a step back and learn how to mentally and physically take care of yourself, like how can you possibly know what that looks like for someone else, right? So setting boundaries is a form of self-care because it helps you recognize what do you need to do in the future to not feel burnt out, to not feel like overwhelmed or potentially manipulated by other people, right? So I think when I'm just going to use my work example from last week again, like that, I think that there was like a time where I only had a Monday motivational stream, and I was like, I'm not going to stream for the rest of the week because I need time for myself, because I am so burnt out from work that I cannot mentally focus on like streaming and playing a game while I'm just burnt out in real life, right? Because I love this community, and in a sense, me being able to the Gamer Scoop, thank you so much for the 5 bits. Have some biddies. Thank you, I appreciate you. Let me shout you out, sorry. Hope you are doing well, sir. Oh, never mind, stop, you did it. Yes, the number one priority of our body is self-preservation. Yeah, it's just so healing, right? So when I was able to take that step back and not stream, one thing that just kind of came to mind is like, yeah, I'm protecting myself from being burnt out, but at the same time, I'm protecting my community, right? Because if I don't set the boundaries and have that form of self-care, right, I'm gonna go into stream, I'll be in a bad mood, I am going to maybe be potentially toxic to my community or my friends or even people in my real life. So setting boundaries for myself is not only protecting me, but it's also protecting the people around me too.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
I think like when I think about self-care, I think a lot about like this idea of practicing like mindfulness and like self-awareness, and I think setting boundaries is a big way to do that, because if you think about it, like by going through those, like that question of thinking like, why do you want this boundary?
Mm-hmm.
You're literally looking within yourself, and like you're becoming more self-aware, and you're learning more about like how you want to be in this world, I guess.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
And not only that, but like by maintaining these boundaries and like enforcing them and being consistent with them, you gain like more respect for yourself too, and not only that, but
Yes.
from other people, and you get a bit better view of just like who you are and like your values and whatnot.
100%. That I love that a lot. And Gamers Coop said, "I never force streams just for the sake of time logged or being online." Yes.
Yes.
Because yeah, like especially with like hobbies, things that you enjoy. Like if you do too much of something, at least for me, I easily get burnt out, right? So if you want to preserve yourself and preserve the things you love, the people you love, you need to learn how to set those boundaries so that I don't know, you can kind of keep like the longevity of everything, right?
Yeah.
And I agree with what you said too, Nikki. There are people on this earth who solely press boundaries to see just where they can benefit from someone's vulnerabilities, kindness. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just sucky too that there are folks who do that, right? They just kind of want to press people's buttons just to see like, okay, like how far can, like if this is Nikki's boundaries, like how far can I take this like action to see like, can I like overstep that boundary, and like is this gonna like push Nikki in a certain way, right? Yeah,
I think like back then, when I was more like going like that definitely happened, because eventually, like I think what happens is that if you aren't if you don't maintain your boundaries enough, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, this is fine. And then if they do a little more, then they're like, okay. And then you're like, okay, I guess that's fine, but okay. And then if you just keep going into that cycle, that's when that situation, what you and Gamers Coop was talking about, where like people will literally just take advantage of you, and they'll literally just step all over you. And
yes. Yeah, and I think I'm sure for folks who are still trying to develop self-confidence, and I'm sure the people who've mentioned like they overthink a lot, and I think you mentioned, Nikki, too, that like you kind of enter this like hole of like self-worth because you're kind of doubting some of like your own thoughts, right? When you encounter those situations, I'm sure it's hard for people to kind of like get back on track and be like, okay, no, like these are my boundaries, like I need to be firm with them. But then you enter that hole where it's like, oh, like am I being mean? Are these boundaries that I'm creating for myself wrong? And you know, I'm sure it's tough for anyone who kind of goes through that hole, because then this like wall that you try to build for yourself is kind of slowly crumbling, you know. Gamer said, oh, Gamer said, thank you so much for the 5 bits. You're too kind. My mantra these days is to forgive myself for allowing myself to be fooled. Wow. And to forgive those who have hurt me, to give myself closure that people are who they are and no one can change that. You can only change yourself, probably for the better. Man, everyone's getting like all these like good quotes. That's deep for real.
Yeah, I think like that's really important. Something that Gamers Coop said. Where was it? Forgive people who have hurt me and give myself closure that people are who they are and no one can change that. I think that's really important to like keep in mind, because like I said, like about the boundaries, like not being so rigid on them, because you don't know where other people are coming from, you know?
Yes.
But like it's that, have you ever heard like forgive but don't forget, that type of thing? Yeah, so it's kind of like, I think whenever like my boundaries are violated, I always have that approach where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna forget that you did this, but I forgive you for this, because obviously, I mean, I like to think that people aren't most people at least aren't coming out of a place of malintent. I don't know if that's a word, but it is now. Yeah. Like they're not trying to, at least if it's like someone close to you, like they're not trying to like violate your boundaries, and sometimes they don't really understand it properly, but that's why you would have a discussion and explain it, you know, and just like
Yeah, I mean, I always think of this phrase every single time in like any scenario, but one phrase that always stuck to me is hurt people, you know, like
yes.
like
I always think that way too.
Yeah, like whether it's like someone in your family, like your parents, or if it's like a friend or a partner, like if they come at you like overstepping boundaries or hurting you in some way, it's because they are also going through some sort of trauma, and it's manifesting in whatever action or words that they have said to you. So yeah, so I appreciate Gamers Coop with the insight. They said, I'm on a path of healing. It's been a long road. Lots of hugs, my friend. I'm sure lots of people are in a point of hurt. Some are on a path of healing, and whatever part in your journey you're at, just know we are always here to support you. Thanks for the virtual huggies, and yes, I will get there one day. Yes, you will. Everyone, no matter where you are, even people who are chilling in Nikki's community, wherever you're at in life, you're gonna get. It just takes a lot of time. It's so annoying because it's like whatever hopeless feeling you're at right now, you're not gonna see the light of the tunnel like tomorrow or in an hour. It's gonna take a heck long of time, but just know that there are people here, at least in our communities, who support and love you, even if it's not, you know, people physically, you know. Hello, Tammy, welcome.
I think like I can't remember exactly what you said, but something I wanted to say is like that idea of like thinking of other people, and like when you said hurt people, right? The first thing I always think whenever something happens to me, like I always think of like the person first, because I think a lot
Gamers
of the
Cool.
time,
Thank you for the bits.
like,
What the heck, bro?
you're fast to react. You're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, why did you hurt me? But then I think like if you think more about like where they're coming from, and you like try to consider the situation that they're in, it allows you to become like more. It also like if you practice it, like it becomes natural that when shit happens, like your first thought is like, where's this person coming from? And it's like, because it's almost never like coming from a bad place, you know. And it just allows you to be more understanding and like mindful.
Yeah, for sure. Gamers Coop said, they bring everyone along the way with me on my journey. Life is too short to go through it alone. Facts. Yeah.
I can't snap, but snap.
Snap. Your character is just hands folded. You need a snap one. Yeah. I think we talked about loneliness a few weeks ago, but I think it's interesting with people being here on Twitch, because I think a lot of us kind of come here because we felt lonely at some point and we're trying to find community, right? So if this is you, I hope you find a home, whether it's here, whether it's Nikki's or anywhere else on Twitch, or even outside, like Gamer Scoop said, it's too short to go through it alone, and whether it's one person. I will always say this again: if you have someone on the palm of your hand, at least one, that is more than enough. That is from Mama Miso. It's genuinely wholesome to think from their. Oh, sorry, Nikki.
No, go ahead.
It's generally wholesome to think about their perspective, but it's tricky because they may never ever fathom that concept. I try to educate people through their willful or neglectful ignorance. There you go, nice.
Yeah.
You just talked about it last Saturday.
Sometimes people, like, they don't even have people to teach them that, you know?
Yeah,
and that's why, like, I always give, like, people the benefit of the doubt, because maybe they don't know, or, like, maybe they never experienced going through things like that. Like if someone's like they're like talking about boundaries and they're like, what, like, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, you never know where what people's past has been, you know.
Right. And it's like you never know like who is like their sphere of influence. Like we don't know if they have family or good friends to teach them. We don't know if they've attended a school or a workplace where they educate people on that. So so that's valid for real.
Yeah, like I never knew any of this shit until I like went through college.
Yeah.
Because I used to have, I mean, even now, like I still get angry all the time, and I get angry so easily, but I never really understood like why, you know, like what is this coming from? And then I started taking like these like stress management classes, and like this class, my counseling class, and then I realized like it's so much deeper than just I'm mad, you know?
Yes.
And like a lot of people don't get to go through those things. That's why I love these, like especially your like talk, your motivationals, because it teaches people, like, you know, like they don't know, and it's a good place to like teach them, and without like being judgmental. You're just like, we're just talking about things, and I think it's important to make people think.
Yeah, I think there's like definitely a way to like have conversations that are like thoughtful, but then not so serious, but then also like fun, you know? Or at least, I mean, I don't know if people are having fun here, but I am, so. So,
I'm nervous, but I'm having fun.
Yay! That's okay. Hopefully you're less nervous than earlier.
Did you see me freaking out?
I did in the beginning.
I was going through it.
Gamers Coop said something to you, Nikki. Resorting to angry reciprocation should be a last resort. You may be that person in conflict with them whose hand can pull them out of a hole. Yes. Yeah. At least try to offer ways to help or educate someone. But if they are being hurtful or like defensive, where they like don't want to receive like your help, then at least you could say you tried, right?
Or even in those situations, like sometimes I have friends who are very emotional. I always ask them, like those friends, I say, do you want someone to listen to what you're going through, or do you want advice? You know, because sometimes someone just wants someone to listen, and that's totally okay too.
Yes. Yeah, I literally just saw that on Instagram the other day, and I was like, yes, that's something I always have to think about, because my sister is like that. She just always wants someone to listen, and I have to be mindful of that, because sometimes me as like an older sister, I always want to like,
you want to get advice.
Yeah, like kind of like be like motherly older figure where like, oh yeah, you should do this, but she was just like, no, I just want you to listen. I'm like, okay, I will zip my lips.
Yeah.
Already, have you followed through Derek? Oh yes, you did follow me. Before I forget, because I know we have like about 30 minutes left. Oh wait, really quick. I'm an emotional wreck with a huge genuine smile that cries over a gesture of kindness towards me. I'm super emo. If
that
someone
was me like a couple weeks ago. You know how I said I was like overthinking?
Yeah.
Whenever anyone did something kind,
Oh,
I started sobbing.
That is me for real.
Someone added me to a group chat. I think no, it was you. You made the group chat.
Oh,
I was tearing up. I was like, oh my god, like the fact that like you guys thought to put me in there. And then like my friend, he was like, you deserve kindness. And then boom.
Oh no.
Sobbing.
Just all the tears coming down.
Yeah.
Oh. Laura and I have that boundary too. When we vent to each other, we always ask each other before speaking, are you looking for advice or looking someone to listen? Yes. I'm not really a small dude either. They'd be like, who hurt you, homie? Hey, you know what? I mean, Queer Park talked about this 2 weeks ago. We definitely need to normalize more, like males just like, you know, feel emotions and just be able to feel, and validating each other, no matter like what you identify as, right? It shouldn't, emotions shouldn't be, like females shouldn't be the only ones who have the right to feel.
Yeah. No, actually, you know what? An important thing is it's okay to feel and talk about it.
Yes.
Like, bro, like, I don't know. I feel like people think like just because you're talking about something emotional, there's like it's bad or you seem weaker, but instead like I see that as strength, because the fact that you have like enough courage to talk about what you're going through, like that's brave, bro. Like
It is.
Sometimes I can't even talk about my shit, but the fact that like some people, like it's never a weakness to talk about what you're going through.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of strength in being vulnerable, and yeah, just allowing like yourself to reflect and just allowing other people to like get to know you more and also learn from you from being vulnerable. So Sushi says, period, Nikki poo poo.
Period.
Steph, one of my students told me how it's important to know when to listen to understand or listen to respond. Yes. I'm always down to talk to my friends or associates. What's 30 minutes of my time just to help you feel better and get some solid feedback. Yes. I saw someone on your stream. I like how she's a Morpeko. Yo, I love Morpeko, and especially since birthday season's coming up, I want everyone to know I am not an astrology junkie, but me and Morpeko were both Geminis, so.
Ooh, I like what Gabe just said. He said that this reminds me of a TikTok I saw. What's the bravest thing you've ever said? Help. Because it's not courage to ask for help. Dude, that's facts. I wish I could snap. Like, I can't.
I know, like everyone is just like dropping quotes. I need I need to make like a little thing on my Discord of like just like grid like quotes that people have been saying on stream, because there's just like too many good ones.
Yeah, like that's actually like kind of like, you know how I have like the exclamation point daily? Like I have a whole list of all of them. Like I think it's, and dude, like my TikTok feed, I think low-key TikTok thinks I'm depressed, but most of my dailies come from like, or they're not like coming from TikTok, but they're inspired by like things that I see.
Yeah.
On TikTok and whatnot.
Don't be taking my quotes. I will make sure to quote you. Gamers Coop will be exclamation, or no, was it quotations? Gamers Coop 2023. Nikki, before I forget, there was someone who had a question directed towards you.
Oh shit.
So
Scared me.
No, don't be scared. So, and I don't know if this person is still in here, but if you asked a question to Nikki, I am reading it right now. So they said, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this quote my therapist said yesterday about relationships and boundaries. When you overthink in relationships, you can sometimes underperform in them. But if you allow yourself to underthink, you can sometimes overperform in them. That's kind of a mouthful. I could say it again.
Wait,
too.
what?
Yeah. Feel free, anyone else in the chat too, if you have thoughts on any of the questions here, let us know. We still got about 20 minutes. I'll put the form up again in case people would like to ask something to me, Nikki. We pretty much finished our like questions. We maybe have like a few more, but if other people want to ask some stuff, feel free. So the quote that their therapist said is, when you overthink in relationships, you can sometimes underperform in them. But if you allow yourself to underthink, you can sometimes overperform. I'm not sure if the person I'm thinking of is the one who asked this question.
What do they mean by underthink? Like you're not considering the other individual?
Yeah, I think so. I think if I'm thinking of the correct person, and I could be totally wrong. So sometimes, so I think with the first part, like you overthink your relationship. So like when you text someone and they don't respond, sometimes you're just like, oh my gosh, like you spiral, just like, oh my god, I am a terrible friend, they don't want to talk to me. So then they say you like sometimes you underperform because like your essentially expectations are just like, oh no, like you're overthinking too much about the relationship, right? But then I think underthink, like when you don't really think too much about the relationship, you actually like exceed or do better with that relationship. I don't know if I'm interpreting that correctly. Whoever wrote this, if you are listening, feel free to clarify.
So the second part was when you underthink, you underperform. Is that what it was?
Yes, when you if you allow yourself to underthink. So I think if you don't overthink, you overperform.
I see that. I can see that. Like, I think if you're spending so much time like stressing about the relationship you have with the other individual, then okay, go ahead, say it one more time. I saw it.
That's okay. I'm actually gonna copy it into both of our streams so everyone can have an extra look.
I know. I was like, it's like I get it, but then I'm also like, wait. I think that's in. Oh, when you overthink, you underperform, and when you underthink, you overperform. Okay, I'm glad you put it because I thought it was the other way. Hold on, okay. I think that's definitely. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily true because if you're overthinking, you might like be overperforming as well. Because I think the example I can think of is like you're thinking like, oh no, like I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. So then you're like overperforming, like you're doing too much for that person. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But is that an underperformance because you're doing too much? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't have an answer for this one. I have some people in the chat who has thoughts, but no, continue though.
Like a one-sided relationship? Maybe. I think like it could seem like I'm taking like underperformance as in like you're not doing enough. But I don't think that's necessarily, at least in my experience, if I'm overthinking, like I overperform. I do too much. Like I think.
Stop said underthinking. Oh, music got loud, so sorry.
You're thinking so much. Yeah, that also could. I think it really depends on the person. That if it's us, because there could be like situations where you're overthinking too much and then you freeze, which could lead to like underperforming. I guess. I don't have a lot of experience. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm taking this wrong way, but I'm taking this as like a relationship with a significant other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of experience with that. I'm not sure if I'm interpreting it necessarily correctly, but yeah, I think I don't know.
Sorry, thank you everyone. Apparently my music was too loud and you were too soft, so I had to adjust you.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Thank you everyone. Welcome back, Choo Choo. So Staffa said underthink might be not getting in your head, not being over intentional, and not making assumptions or jumping to conclusions. Here, I'll put the question again, Park. I'm actually not sure how to answer this one. Gamers Coop said, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer in that scenario. A relationship grows through the commitment of two or more people. Physical, mental, intimate, and familial growth is shared commitment in each of their respective phases. Thinking that you're solely viable to an aspect of the relationship individualizes your role and may cause confusion. Situation and perspective are critical. That's why communication is ever so important. Coop. See, Coop, you had to put Coop 2023.
Yes. No, I think, like, yeah, in general, like, I don't know, for me, I'm a really open person. Maybe sometimes too open. But, like, when it comes to overthinking, like, I always, it doesn't matter, like, in any relationship, as in, like, friendships, whatever, I always tell the person, like, let me know. Because you just have to communicate to them, like, if you're overthinking, like, let me reassure you, or let me, like, try to help you out. Like, let me do what I can to ease your mind, I guess, you know, like.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know how to answer that question.
No, it's okay. I mean, maybe it's like letting things flow naturally, like not trying to force a relationship. communication. Overthinking makes unrational decisions, which will harm the results you're looking for. Yeah, I think in general, I think Nikki touched upon this already, that overthinking just kind of leads to us spiraling and doubting ourselves, and then I think in this context, doubting our relationship with that individual, right? So I think, as Gamers Cube mentioned, taking a step back and recognizing that you're overthinking and that, you know, communicating those feelings to that individual, right? Or, like, validating that relationship. I think it's going to be important, but I think in terms of, like, for yourself, just recognizing that, like, you know, what you are thinking immediately is maybe not, like, what is happening, right? Like, don't make assumptions about you and that person just because, like, you were spiraling, you know?
Yeah. And then, like, for the other half, like, the underthinking, sometimes you overperform. I don't know. I think, like, the performing thing is fucking me over, bro. But, but for, like, the underthinking thing, I think, like, that's also not necessarily, like, if you allow yourself to underthink, you can sometimes... I think they're saying underthinking is a bad thing in that part. But I also think that's bad because it's that idea of you're assuming for the other person, or you're not really considering, like, where they're coming from. You're just like, oh, they should be fine, you know? At least that's how I'm seeing it, because you're not really considering or thinking about how the other person may feel in a certain situation.
Yeah, Cleo Park said underthinking is also harmful because if you don't respect the person's wishes and wants, it can be harmful as in not paying attention to the person. Yes, and then Sushin and stuff are, yeah. We're not gonna go deep into that because that's someone we know in real life. But thank you all for, like, your input. That was a tough question, but I appreciate that people in both chats were, like, receptive and, you know, offering.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, Gamer's Coop, my sound alert is off because we're doing just chatting right now. I'm so sorry. Can someone refund him? Play it next time. I usually turn it off for motivational. I'm sorry. Steve, can you refund Gamers, please?
I think you can pause redeems as well.
Oh, I should have done that.
Say that.
I should have done that. My bad. Another question that we had. I don't know how to do that. Sush knows how to do that. Someone said, "What kind of food do you want me to cook for you all?" I would like some.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so hungry. Like,
can you get me, like, some ramen? Can you make me ramen? Whoever said this.
I want a burger and fries, bro.
Ooh. Yeah, I want ramen and some fries.
Ooh.
That sounds so good.
Yes.
We have 2 other questions here. What do you think are the pros and cons of having rigid boundaries versus flexible ones? I know we talked a little bit about that earlier.
That's a good question. I closed my shit.
No, you're good.
I think, honestly, I don't mean this, like, if you have a rigid boundary, that's totally fine, but I don't think rigid boundaries are necessarily good. Like, I don't think there is any... I mean, it could be a pro in the sense that you are protecting yourself and you know that it is never going to be that situation, or, like, whatever you're protecting, it'll never be damaged. But it's not good because you're not ever gonna, like I said before, like, you're never gonna grow if you don't accept change and you don't accept stuff from other people, if that makes sense. Like, you don't...
Yeah.
Like, it's important to listen to other people, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to accept what they say. And and I think, like, listening to other people is good because it challenges your perspective, and it also allows you to consider, well, how do I feel about what they just said, right? Like, do I reaffirm my values, or can my values evolve based on what they've said?
Right.
And then the other part was the flexible. I guess I kind of went in with the flexible as in, like,
yeah,
it's important to, like, take in what other people say. Not, like, obviously you never have to take, like, accept exactly what they say, but it's important to to understand where people are coming from, I guess.
Tofu, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. I got a shout out. Thank you. Oh my god, my alerts were blocked by Nikki. Nikki's beautiful head. No, I agree 100%. I think I don't really have much to say after that because I think you put that perfectly. Tofu, how are you doing? Welcome in. I thought it was a raid because the alert was covered. Oh no, sorry. I just made Nikki super huge because her thing is super cute.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'm gonna move it over so it doesn't block your head. Yeah, no, I agree. I think if you weren't here earlier when we were talking about rigid and flexible boundaries, sorry, I'm rubbing my eyes because they're hurting. You know, boundaries, right? It's not a one size fits all scenario. We were talking about how to be a little bit flexible because, you know, we can apply one situation, you know, for a certain person, but we might have to adjust ourselves depending on like the experience, depending on the relationship we have with that person. So yeah, so I think I agree with that. Let's see. Ooh, more more stuff just came in all of a sudden. Right now, if you're hopping in, we're doing questions. So if you have anything, we'll try to answer as many as we can. Oh, gotta start putting boundaries and self-care too. Yes, Tofu, do your thing.
Yes, Tofu.
Yeah, boundaries first before coming into here.
I don't know if you're still here, but we had like a little picture too for the types of boundaries, so if you want to look at that.
Oh yeah.
I put mine back up.
Yeah, put that here.
Awesome streamers and motivate me to start talking about. Aw, Park.
No. Thank you. The next question we have here. I'll try to do the ones that we haven't talked about, but I'll go back to them for folks who didn't hear us answer them. Boundaries are to be respected by both parties. To the ones who don't respect them, they are immature and don't respect people. I steer clear of them. Usually will speak my mind, but won't let them win. Oh, that's more of a comment. Thank you for whoever shared that. How do you expect me to who put this in here? I need to start putting I will say this because this is not a
I heard
question.
the beginning already and I was like, oh god.
Whoever put this in here, I am not mad. I'm disappointed. No, I'm kidding. They said, how do you expect me to grow if you don't let me blow?
Okay, bruh. Is that from... I hope that's not from my chat.
I don't know. It's from someone. It was Sushil.
Oh god.
Sushil, you got a big bonk. I'm gonna ban you.
That's a sussy text right there.
That's a... Cosmin, don't... It's from friends. Alright.
Tammy just said... Boundaries should do both parties and should be talked about earlier in the FS? Should be talked about earlier for sure. I had friends who don't talk about it and they blame me. Yeah.
Oh,
in the friendship. Yeah, they should always be... That's unfortunate that they do that. But yeah, I think like in any relationship or friendship, like as you meet someone, it's important to like let them know like, hey, there's some things that like like these are not things that I necessarily accept, and I value if you can respect them for me. And people who, if they blame you for that, that's really unfortunate. Like that's not okay. Cause like you didn't know that they had those boundaries, and like I don't know, for them to like assume that you knew that, like that's literally like going backwards. Like to have a boundary and then expect someone just to know it. Like not everyone has the same boundaries.
Susha, I wasn't expecting you to read it. I hate you. Well, this was an actual friends. Well, this was a question. I think we already talked about it, but I think the person didn't maybe hear us talking about it, but they said, what challenges have you faced when trying to set healthy boundaries, and how did you overcome them?
For me, I'm always like, everyone deserves a second chance, you know? So whenever like someone violates it the first time, I always let them know like, yo, like depending on how important the boundary is. If it's something that's not super important, I'll just let them know like, hey, like don't do that next time. But I don't really like say much about it. But if it's something that they know I really value and they know that I don't like it if you violate it, like I'll literally tell them like, I believe in second chances, but like if you do this again, like I don't know where I'll stand, you know? But there's been times where I have done that and the people continue to violate them. And it's unfortunate, but like I have to step away from that relationship because they literally know where I'm coming from. They know, and like I said, you know how I was saying like, you know, sometimes you have to take into account where that person is coming from and see if you know, like sometimes if they violate a boundary, you have to see like where the intentions are coming from and whatnot. But if someone is constantly violating a boundary, as hard as it is, I will step away from that relationship.
Yes. Hi Cosmic, how's it going? Oh gosh, I keep trying to shout out, but then I forget I have mods. How's it going, Cosmic? Yeah. What was I gonna say? It was related to that. I haven't experienced this recently with any like recent relationships, but the one I think about was from a relationship I had a long time ago, and this was more in respect to physical boundaries. There were moments where so there was like an incident where essentially inappropriate touch occurred and I was not comfortable with that happening, and I expressed that to my partner, and so I was trying to lay that boundary, like, you know, like I'm okay if you do it in this like location or like at this moment in time. No, it's not Sush, it's an old relationship.
I love that Sush always puts not me chat whenever like you talk about an old relationship.
But yeah, so it's like, but after I set that boundary or I made that known to that person, they still continue to do that every then, and I started to get mad because at that point, I laid that out for myself, but then I felt like I was no longer being respected by my partner because after just throwing justified shade right now, it's okay, y'all. There's no one in here. This person is now married. It all good. We in a better place. But no, yeah, it's frustrating because kind of like we talked about earlier, whether like regardless of who that person is, it's like, you know, like you want to be valued, you want to be respected by that individual, and you hope that if they cared about you, that they would respect those boundaries. But if they constantly keep doing that, like, right, we want to give second chances, but then to like what extent do we do that for that person? And like when is it justified to be like, okay, you break it and I don't think it's like good enough to repair this relationship anymore, you know, which is tough.
It is. It's always hard to get to that point.
Yeah, because I hate conflict and like,
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm just like, yeah.
Like, I think sometimes people may take it in the wrong way when you do have a boundary, so they're like, "Oh, you want me to change?" And I'm like, "No, this is like for me, you know." Like, I think sometimes people misinterpret you setting a boundary as you asking them to change, but it's never coming from what they're doing, it's always from yourself, you know. And if someone's not willing to respect a boundary, it doesn't necessarily mean they have to change as a person, but like if they're not respecting that, like, I'm sorry, but you're dropped.
Yeah. Gamers Coop said something earlier where they said this stream is invigorating because it contradict what he tweeted the other day, and he said, I love how people claim that their communities or streams are safe spaces only to tug at their audience's emotions or means of monetization. I know streamers aren't therapists, but some people see that safe place tag as a lifeline. Be invested in your community, not the other way around. I appreciate you saying that, Gamers Coop, because one thing that I learned last week from my friend Celine, that we were talking about allyship and, you know, folks in the LGBTQ community, and you see people who put tags of like ally, LGBT, wow, whatever the letters all got jumbled. But sometimes it's super performative to put those tags because, you know, it gains audience or viewership or things like that. But it's, yes, the alphabet mafia. but you know, Celine, you said something really great last week. It's like allyship is not, it's not something, it's earned. Like you earn that.
Wait, Celine is the real Italian?
Yes, the real Italian, that is Celine.
Oh shit!
That was our guest from last week.
Yeah, I remember. I remember what was it? Something binary there.
Yeah. Breaking the binary. That's their Instagram. So I feel that, Gamers Coop, because I know some people put that. Hi Artsy, welcome. Yes, allyship is earned, not given. There you go.
That's my wife.
That's welcome the wife. Your wife is here with us today, Artsy. But yeah, I think it's the same thing with like the safe space tag. This is a totally different conversation, but just really quick. Yeah, I appreciate that, Gamers Coop, because I think what at least I tried to provide, and the same thing with like Nikki's community, like we genuinely want to provide a safe space for people, and we see usually the same folks in here because we're all like friends or in the same community. So we hope that the people who do come into our streams genuinely see it as a safe space. So whether they come in here for a little bit or not. So Artsy's avoiding their paper. You got it, girl. Your words of encouragement to your wife, Nikki.
I'm so sorry. My brother walked in and was asking me about something. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Words of encouragement to your wife.
I'm avoiding. What? You can do it. I don't know. That was ass.
Artsy's avoiding their paper. All right, well, we hit the 2-hour mark, y'all. Can you believe that? Gotta restart my computer. Hell of a stream. 10 out of 10 will recommend. Oh, thank you, gamers. I appreciate it.
That's so sweet.
See you next time. Yes, thank you so much for coming in. For those of you who like to join, we do have a Discord. Feel free to pop in. Say hi. Wait, are you ending? Why did I come at the end? This is a scam. Thank you, Annie. I appreciate it. We're gonna maybe have like a few like extra. We're not gonna end like immediately. We'll have like some small-ish questions, but maybe not so much super deep ones. But in terms of talking about healthy boundaries and the Miso Motivational stuff, thank you so much for Nikki. Everyone give her lots of hype. She was very, very nervous, but she did awesome. Praise her. Tell her she's great.
Thank you for having me. Okay, despite being nervous and awkward, I really enjoyed it.
Do you like philosophy? Because I had shared playlists about Taoism. I think you might like. Ooh. Cosmic, if you want to join the Discord, or you could DM me. Doesn't matter. Feel free to share. I'd be interested. There you go. Yes, everyone hype up Nikki. They are great. yeah, so for those of you who hopped in at the end, we were just talking about healthy boundaries. So if we were to give kind of like an overview on everything, just to kind of sum up what we talked about, y'all went crazy this stream. Cosmo, shut up. Go study. No, honestly though, I mean, yeah, this is a great topic. I think this is something that I needed for myself. Just kind of talking about what are some safety nets, safety barriers that we can do to protect ourselves so that we can preserve ourselves to, one, protect ourselves to continue being ourselves and to continue helping other people in whatever space, you know. Nikki and Miso 2 stream, part 2. Part 2 TBD, wow. Imagine.
I feel like you guys literally saw me. You guys saw like the before. Like I was freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, Nikki was super nervous. If you were,
I had to step away.
Oh,
I had to step away. I was like, okay, I'm freaking like. And when I was like walking to the bathroom, like my whole body was shaking. My like legs were jello.
No, you're fine. It all chill. I was on a plane for some of it and knew it slayed. So he just came back from California, actually.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he was at a bachelor party this weekend.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Well, Nikki, I wanted to end on some 3 positive questions, and then, well, technically 4, so that this will be the more like motivational part of the stream. So the first one that I have is, what is one thing that you are thankful for?
You know, actually, like, I've been thinking about this a lot recently because, okay, I don't want to sound like, I hate saying this, but like, whenever I hit a milestone on Twitch, I like to do like a letter of appreciation, and so I've been thinking a lot about like what I wanted to talk about and what I wanted to show gratitude towards. But I guess what I would say is I'm really thankful for like just meeting people and having friends, I guess, because there's a time where I gave up on making friends because I just like had really bad experiences in college. And so then I was just like, you know, like, fuck this. I don't want to make friends anymore. I'm comfortable with the friends I have.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, starting Twitch and meeting my friend John, or Unlethal Foe, like, I learned that, you know, like, maybe I can do with a little bit more friends.
Aww.
So that is what I'm most definitely thankful for.
Dang, shout out John. W mod.
Yes. Facts. W mod.
W mod. Oh, I gotta say that. W mod. Let's go, John. No, that's awesome. And I'm also scatterbrained, but I am the same way. Shout out John. No, I am the same way, honestly. I mean, I've only been here for like 2 months, but everyone has just been so nice, and I felt the same way of like being very comfortable with like the people around me. But it's just been really pleasant in the 2 months I've been here so far, of like everyone just being really kind, and it's just really refreshing to just kind of meet new people. So I am the same way. And I said I scattered brain because I was supposed to give a recap, but I didn't. So sorry, recap. We were talking about setting boundaries and how that looks like, the different types of boundaries, how to set healthy boundaries and things like that. So it's only been 2 months. I mean, I've had a Twitch for a while, but I took a long hiatus because I was a high school teacher and I did not want the high schoolers to expose me. So literally I came back just now. So new.
Well, I'm glad that you came back.
Aw, thank you. No, I'm really happy. So there's just a lot of people that I have to give credit for that. So, you know, the Kazo, which I know he's in here somewhere. I saw him. And everyone else. So hopefully, yeah. I think that's like one thing that I think Gamers Coop mentioned earlier. It's like, I don't want to keep doing it just to do it. So like when I don't feel like streaming, I just don't want to stream because I want to make sure I do this for a while, and I don't want to feel like this becomes a chore. Like I want to do it because I like to do it, you know? Oh, also, Nikki, I don't know if you saw the command. I put exclamation point dog water in your name.
I love that.
That is for you.
Turn me up, bruh.
All right, the second question for you. So, for those of you who don't know, I am pretty much doing a passion project this year. I didn't get to ask everyone. I know my IRL friends know this, but I'm trying to ask people in this community this question. But if you were able to try anything that you've never done before, what would it be?
Oh shit.
So this could be like super
know.
super small. It doesn't have to be like super crazy like go skydiving. It could be as simple as learning a new language or trying something new, whichever you like. Dang, everyone wants that dog water. Shrooms, Jojo.
I don't know. If you were able to try anything you've never done before. I thought about like okay, well technically I kind of tried it though.
That's fine.
Because I can't. I want to be more consistent on like social media. I'm really bad at it. But like not in the sense that like I go on it more, but like I want to be able to like post more because I feel like I always like I literally record things every time I stream. Like I record stuff on the side. I have all these videos, but I just never I never post them because I don't know, I'm just not confident in it, I guess.
Oh.
But
I will like it. I'll be maybe the first
that'll
one.
be what Thank you.
All right, nice. Share the philosophy YouTube channel. Hope one of the videos helps you and makes you think. All right. Oh, did you DM that to me, Cosmic? I hope I don't enter into another existential crisis. And the third question I have is, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy?
All right, thanks, Cosmic.
Should I go deep?
Whatever you're comfortable with. Could be cheesy, short, deep, whichever you'd like.
I think it's just because of the things I've been thinking about in the past, but
yeah,
I would say like it's kind of literally what Park said, but being able, where was it? He said he's thankful he's able to wake up every day and breathe. I think I kind of feel the same way. Obviously I didn't go through what Park has gone through, but there was a time where, okay, I'm gonna say this right now. This is a trigger warning to anybody talking about depression and suicide. So I think I'm happy that I'm able to be alive and just be able to like experience life in a whole different way, because there's definitely been a time where I didn't think I would be here. So I think that's probably what I'm like the most happy about, is that like the way I used to think and like the me I am now, like I'm very grateful and happy for a lot, like I don't know, for still being here, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, everyone give... Oh gosh, I got debated on your chat. Forgot.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Everyone give all the hugs to Nikki. Artsy, good luck writing as you listen to us. We will motivate you, hopefully, in the last few minutes. Yes. I think everyone is kind of saying in general how thankful we are that you are here. I'm thankful that I got to meet you, Nikki. It's like really nice, just like how even though you're like younger than me, like how much like I see a lot of like similarities between the two of us. So you know, I'm thankful that you are here. I'm thankful that you get to share a little bit about your story to everyone here, and I hope that folks that are in my chat and in your chat are able to learn a lot from you. Net Dino said Nikki deserves all the daps. So, and then hopefully we can continue giving you all the daps even more in the future. So, all the hugs.
Like for real though, like these like talks and like the honest talks I have, like I'm really glad that we do them because you never know like who's out there that then just needs someone to like talk to. So I'm really happy that we have things like this.
Yeah, that was essentially why I tried doing it, because there's a lot of really awesome people that I met who just happen to be going through some stuff and just need some positivity. So I was like, I'm gonna do this. And it was literally, I was driving one day and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And then Sush was like, okay, go do it. And I did. And it's honestly one of the little things that I'm proud that I started doing. And it's nice that we have that. And just as the positivity, I'm excited for Spy Camp to join.
Yes, May 8th.
May 8th, y'all. May 8th. I'll make an announcement. That would be for next week. And then Kuya Park too. That. Also, you do your motivational stream, so it's just nice. And I know Gabe also talks about mental health stuff a little bit.
Talks.
Yes, like on the weekends. So it's just kind of nice. We have like a nice little spread of positivity. Alright.
Yeah, we're all like virtual. I wouldn't say necessarily therapists, but we're all virtual counselors, I guess.
You should be, yes. Free therapy. It's nice meeting all y'all and being able to call y'all bunsos like part of a family. Oh, yes, Kuya, you do stream and you do also motivational stuff, so we appreciate you. If someone can shout Kuya Park out as well. But yeah, I mean, the last bit is usually I like to have the guest as well as myself end with some sort of positive quotes. It doesn't really have to be about boundaries. I know we had a lot of positive quotes or just a lot of quotes from everyone, but if you were to share one like parting words with everyone, what would you say to the people?
I guess this is what I always like. This is something I live by a lot. But I like this reminds me of like Gabe's what was it, his Satsuthon? Someone asked me if I had one thing to say to everyone in the world, what would it be? And I think it would be that the closest thing to perfection is imperfection, and that we're all perfectly imperfect. Because I think a lot of the time we're striving to be this great thing or this like this idea of perfection, but there's no such thing as perfect. And literally the most closest thing you can be to perfect is imperfect. And I think that's like a really beautiful thing to think about.
Oh, I love that. I think that warms me because I try to be a perfectionist. Not with everything, but it's nice like humbling yourself and thinking it's okay to not be good at everything, and it's just very human, It is. I think, oh gosh, my words of wisdom for everyone else this week. I'm gonna run out of sayings if I keep doing this every week.
That's me and my daily. Sometimes I'm like, oh fuck.
I know. It's like you run out of wisdom. It's like I only have so much wisdom to share.
Art says, love yourself emotionally and stable because you need a guideline to better understand how much love you need before you love someone else.
Oh,
I like that.
That's cute. Aaron, thank you for the hydrate. I'm running out of water. I think my parting words, I think I said it earlier, and I think this is because I took this away from my camping trip over the weekend. Listen to your body, and it's okay to be a potato. like legit, it's okay to be a potato. because there are days where I'm like, oh man, I need to work out, I need to do XYZ, but my body and my brain sometimes just wants to like rest, you know. And even if it's like, obviously don't potato like every single day where you're like doing absolutely nothing and have no goals, but it's okay to be a potato every now and then. Potatoes are great. They're a wide variety.
Yeah, you don't ever have to constantly be doing something. I think that's important to know.
I think someone mentioned this, maybe it was you, Celine, but I think like we live in a society where we're like constantly like taught to do stuff 24/7. So I think normalizing, it's okay to rest, it's okay to potato.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. What if I'm never potato, always grinding? If that's the way you want your life to be,
then you're a mashed potato.
Yeah, you're mashed potato. Yeah, and if you just want to be a regular baked potato, uncooked, on the ground, that's okay too. Whatever potato you like to be, you own your potato. I did not work out today after doing XYZ, and I'm 1,000 happy. She reminds me to listen to my body. Yes, I'm glad, because I haven't worked out in like 3 weeks. I'm hoping to work out tomorrow, so we'll see. Rotato potato.
I've never heard Addie say that.
I don't think I've ever heard Addie say that either.
Potato? I like that though.
Gym is life. Okay, so okay, I promise I'll go to the gym tomorrow. I'll try. So Nikki, are you still streaming after this? I should have asked that. Oh shit.
I don't like low-key, I want to talk a little bit more.
Tito Pearl, thank you for the
I'm not gonna
follow.
stream that long, so don't raid me.
Okay, I was going to say.
Is that what you're gonna say?
Potentially, because I was.
Yeah, no, I don't think I was maybe like 10, 15, and then that'll be it.
Okay, well, thank you, Nikki, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I will.
I really did enjoy it. Like, I know I was a nervous wreck, but yes, I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm glad. I mean, again, I know it was super last minute, but I'm glad that you hopped in, because I really love the topic that you had for us today, and hopefully everyone appreciated it too. And if you didn't get anything out of it, I hope that you just vibed and enjoyed our company, and just thank you for being here. So yes, can we get another shout out for Nikki? I know we got lots of hugs, but go follow them if you aren't doing anything. Do it right now. She's at 185 followers. Get her to 200 fast.
Thank you for the shout out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so go hang out. But yeah, Nikki, do your thing. I'll see you later.
Yes. Thank you.
No
Okay,
problem.
bye.
Have a good night. Bye.
You too.
Aw. That was awesome. Stuff was fast. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad that you got to stop by. I know it's like morning for you. And sorry, I missed it. Tito Pearl, hello, welcome. I am so sorry. I am Filipino, but I am bad at reading, so I don't understand. If there's anyone who speaks Tagalog who understands what Tito Pearl has said, please let me know. Nawawala yung ulam namin. You don't have food? Napadaan lang ako? You don't have food? Wala po. I'm so sorry, Tito Pearl, that I don't understand. But welcome. I appreciate you for being here. And then also, I didn't say it earlier, but Kid Name Answer, thank you so much for the follow. I saw you in Nikki's chat, but welcome. And then Tofu, I know you were gone, but thank you so much for being here. Look how freaking cute Nikki is. Hold on. Look, Nikki was nervous, but look at her with her little fancy mic. So give her some love. She was so nervous, but I'm really proud that she took the time and energy to just kind of, be vulnerable and kind of do the thing and be on here. So thank you for everyone just to be here. This has just been like one of the highlights of my week. I literally told my mom. My mom was like, hey, can you get X, Y, and Z? And I was like, Mom, I gotta stream at 8. I did a Google Translate, but I don't think it's right. Our dish is missing. I just passed by. Okay, that's fine. I love the guest appearances so much. Oh, thanks, Gasman. I appreciate you being here. Remember to take care of yourselves. Do those self-care activities for mental and physical health. Yes, I know. I should try doing like kind of like do nows, like little like this is your task, but we'll get to it. So, but thank you, Carla, for being here. I'll make sure to also check out your DM as well. So, I'm gonna prep for us to raid. I've been meaning to raid this individual. This individual is a great singer. It's also his birthday coming up soon. I've also kind of just been noticing a lot of young folks, and like I make it sound like I'm a freaking old person, but I've been noticing people in like college age / early 20s who are just kind of going through a lot of things right now, and I think this individual could use a lot of positivity and things like that, so I want to show them some love. But just some announcements for the rest of the week. On Wednesday, I think we're gonna be hopefully going back to Stardew Valley, and then maybe raids Nikki. Should be like, what the? Yeah. No, we won't raid Nikki. Thursday or Friday, I don't know. Maybe we'll do some Valo comp, or we might do some Fortnite. I haven't decided. Probably one of the two. So if anyone is down to game, because I know some IRL friends are going to be watching a movie on Thursday, so whichever, feel free to join the Discord. We got a cozy soup cafe. Lots of people are just named as different soups. Come join if you want to hang out, if it's super chill, or if you just want to see like the announcements of things going on. Next Monday, I'll just say it now because I'm sure he's already mentioned it, but we will be having Spikant as our next guest. I don't know if his name is gonna pop on here, but May 8th, Spikant, aka my son, is going to be our special guest. I don't know what the topic is going to be just yet, but we'll make sure to work that out, and then I will post that as well. And then feel free to follow me on Instagram as well. Oh, I thought I put on here Insta. Whatever. You can follow me on Instagram at misolsoup to check it out as well. I don't remember what my thing was. Here, let me do this. I think I didn't put a command. There we go. So follow the things, follow the Discord. Let's raid out. We won't do some songs. I'm tired as heck. But I hope all of you have a lovely week, whatever you are doing. And then where the cool cats are. Cammy, you're still here. I love you. Thank you so much. What time is it for you, Cammy? Isn't it? It's morning, right? It's like 11 noon. Raid channel. Expected. 11:37. Time to go study. Yes, good luck. For those of you who are studying for finals, good luck, good luck. I hope you do well. You got it, Cosmin. Oh, good morning, Cammy. You're almost gonna have lunch soon. I don't remember what my raid message is. Yeah, there's the raid. I don't have a sub raid. That's fine. We chillin'. Let's just do this one. We're gonna raid. I think it's Spectacy or Spectacy. I'm not sure. He'll probably introduce. He's playing Valorant right now, but I think he is someone who could use some positivity. So if you're able to join the raid, I would really appreciate it. So let's get going. But have a good night, good morning, wherever you're at. Thank you again. Hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday. If not, and you just like to be here for the Motivational Mondays, hopefully I'll see you next week. So, I love you all. Thank you so much for being awesome. Good night, Chocho. Good night. Thank you again to the new follows, Tito Pearl, Anderson, Tofu again for the tier 1. Bye, Chocho. I love you. Bye, Cosmin. Bye, Kiami. Bye, Stop. Bye, Sush. Who else? Bye, Cosmic. Bye, Cuzzo. Tammy. Bye, Kuya. Bye, Celine. You all are awesome. Okay, let's go show some love, show some positivity. Peace, and I love you. Bye.